Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope everyone had a good Easter. Welcome back to Beyond the Fog. What a wonderful time we're having. So if everyone could cast their minds back to our last session, you had just beat the ever-loving crap out of some bandit type folk, and tied them up from memory. Oh, no, I think that's where we got up to. So, because I am also still in the I have my dinner here. I'm going to just mute my mic while you tell me what you're doing, so I can eat my food.
No, we've got these guys and we've stopped them from dying because we're very generous. And there's Martin, the innkeeper's nephew, that was tied up that I had just finished freeing before the fight.
Yes.
So I'm going to walk over to him and see if I can get back into character voice. All right, so that was a bit of a kerfuffle, Martin. It was Martin. Yes, been a stressful few minutes.
Yeah, it's Martin.
Now, I think you've had a bit of a worse day than we have. So what I think you should be doing right now is finding your way downstairs, letting your aunt know that you're okay, that you had a bit of a bunk on the head, and then you should go find the person who's in charge of justice in this town. Because these guys are staying where they are for now, and we'll keep an eye on them. And if you want to go fetch somebody who can take them in a bit more of an official capacity, then we'll keep an eye on things here.
Okay, I'll go get the mayor and the guards, of course.
Oh, and watch out on the ladder down. From what I was hearing when they were coming up, I think they greased it.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, the good.
Because you don't want another bump on the head just from falling off the ladder.
No, I can't say that I do. Okay, I'll go and do that. And he's going to turn and head out the door, and you can sort of hear his footsteps recede in the distance.
As soon as he's out of the room, I am going to look over at we had a room full of this bunch of assholes stash, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to look at the stash that we've encountered. Then I'm going to look at the other people in our little troop. And so I don't know if you folks know this, but according to the Youth Code, at least back where I'm from, I've studied it because of the amount of time I spent on the road. If you're as much of an asshole as these three were, and then the people you're an asshole to finds all of your stash, kind of forfeit. So what I'm going to suggest we do is we take all the coin from here and whatever seems interesting, and leave just enough that people don't get suspicious how much we've taken. I'm quite happy to just I carry some sacks in my bag if we want to just secure it all quietly and divide it when we're out somewhere private. Does that sound good to people?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Is everyone chaotic neutral or something? I forget.
No, I think we're all just a little bit like annoyed at the moment.
Yeah, I'm
Because annoyed supersedes a lawful alignment. We all know this.
I'm very good, and you know some things from my background that I'm acting in accordance with. So at this point, I'm going to drop my backpack and pull out the collection of cloth sacks that I carry in there for undisclosed reasons, and then I'm going to start going through the stash that we found. Step 1, locks. Step 2, inventory, and also just taking all the gold. No, taking 9/10 of the gold.
Okay. Well, there are no locks on any of these chests. And the spread of stuff that's here is it is small. because the window of opportunity these guys took advantage of was the time of the volcanic eruption, and there are 3 of them. So as you are going through these chests, you find a whole bunch of stuff that isn't actually worth anything. So like there's bowls, there's a few little wood carvings, things that would mean a lot of sentimental value to a commoner, but don't have any monetary or magical value.
That stuff gets left.
There is a... Yes?
Can I roll to see if there's something that looks like druidic?
Sure, go for it. Roll a investigation or a perception.
I'm going to roll a perception because I got a +5. 15.
Okay, so with the 15, you're looking through, and you think some of them might be religious icons of some sort, but there's nothing magical about them. They're mundane, I guess, is the best way to put it. They're mundane icons. So they might have some sort of link to a druidic circle that's local to this area. But it's not really something that you recognize. And there's nothing magical about any of these little wooden items.
Okay, I'm not going to take things of like specific sentimental value because I did double check my alignment. Apparently I'm chaotic good, and that doesn't feel like a thing I would do.
Gotta lean into that good bit as well as that chaotic bit. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, yeah, so there's the wooden bowls and wooden little things like that. You find a golden statue, probably about this big, also 30 centimeters tall, or so. Say again?
That's hefty.
Mm-hmm. You also find 20 gold pieces, and a long staff with a purple stone in the head. And when I say a staff, I mean it's not like the kind that you can hold sort of at your shoulder height and it still be taller than you. It's sort of more of a
cane?
Kind of size. Yeah, walking cane. Yeah, about that length.
I quietly stash the, well, I take my sacks back since it's apparently not that good of a stash. Pocket the coins with a muttered comment about distributing them between us later. And then I take the clearly something magical stick, tuck it into the back of my belt, settle the wings back into position, hook the cloak over them so that I'm back to my usual, slightly refined, not showing off the complete freak of nature of the tiefling. And just, what an interesting collection of worthless knickknacks we've discovered with nothing more to show for it.
I mean, just because they have monetary value doesn't mean they're intrinsically worthless, though. It's just we don't have the skill set and the background to have them have worth. I'm just saying.
Worth more to us returned intact to the regional law enforcement.
I think at this point, Omen is going to pipe up as he's just been observing Audacity filter these things out of the chests and whatnot, and then quote unquote pocket the staff with the purple gem. And he's going to look over at her and say, "So I suppose that is the item of interest from Lord Valak."
I mean, it might be. Did we actually get much of a description of it?
No, we didn't get a description. We just knew it was specific interest to Balak.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
Huh?
Could I? I'd like to do an Arcana check on that staff, if possible, and a history. If you let me do both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely do both.
Or if someone else wants to do the history, that's totally cool as well.
How is your history?
I think it's all right. Just let me double check.
I've got +1 to history, so nothing special.
Better than me.
Okay. I have +2, so.
Yeah. I've got +4. So
All right, yeah.
no worries. So I'm going to do this on my phone because laptop's down and out at the moment.
Remind me, did we search the bodies last session as well, or did we have we not done that yet?
I think that was on the to-do list.
Yeah.
And I don't think
and
they're dead. I think officially they're all unconscious.
Yes, no, I specifically started with I
Yeah.
have the medical abilities and I am specifically not letting these guys die. Because, play against type as the rogue.
We've lost the gun.
Oh no!
Quick,
Hold
still
on.
look at the notes. Shit, we can't. It's too far.
That's a long drive.
Mm.
All right, so I got a 24 on Arcana and a 6 on History.
Okay, well, history-wise, you have no fucking clue. As far as Arcana is concerned, though, you're looking at it and you're giving it a very critical look over, and yeah, it's definitely magical. Absolutely so.
Magical as hell.
Would you be able to, with a roll like that, would you be able to tell me like anything more other than the fact that it's magical, in the sense of like what it would be for or why it exists?
Oh, so it wasn't just a 24; it was a nat 20.
No,
I didn't have the roll channel open. I was looking at the webcam feeds. Yeah, okay. Nat 20. That's different. Okay. So you can't tell exactly what this item is for without without resources and without tools and what have you. But you're looking at it before. I'm going to just say that you have done this before Audacity put it away.
I would pause for this.
Yeah. That it feels as though it doesn't have like a magical property, or it's not like the kind of weapons you get in a video game where you have this stuff and it allows you to cast fireball or whatever. It's not something like that. It has some inherent magical purpose, but unless it is being used for that purpose, it almost feels like it's inert, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Very interesting. I relay this to everyone else. I reckon it's a map or a key.
I mean, that does open up some interesting possibilities. Might keep it.
Sounds like we should.
Sorry to cut in. The stone bit on the top, has anyone touched it yet?
I mean, presumably I will have.
I will say that I have from inspecting it.
Okay, does that do anything?
No.
Ah,
There has been
damn it.
no immediate magical response from touching any portion of this magic stick.
What if I lick it?
You would get a
I'm
very.
not going to. I'm just asking. In theory, does it matter what part of your body you touch it with? Which came out way dirtier than I meant it to.
Look, I feel as though that you would be in danger from repercussions from the other people in your party as opposed to the reactions of the stick.
Oh, I ask before I lick things.
Yes. Do not lick the purple end of a stick, please.
All right, let's make a note of that.
Right.
I could have used that piece of advice years ago.
Do not. I'm just gonna.
I think you could, really. As I'm tucking the staff thingy away, I'm going to look at it and say, so I think we've got no real idea what this thing does, but I'm just going to keep it out of sight for now, and if we check in with law enforcement when they get here about if there's something specific we should be looking for, we
Do we
can.
want anyone that we found it yet, or is it our secret right now?
Was that?
Yeah, how does everyone feel about that? Do we want to like keep it to ourselves that we've found it for the time being before we decide what to do with it and who should know? Or...
I think we should keep Mum because we don't know how I don't know how deep this goes or how corruptible the government is. So I think if we keep it to ourselves up until we come to a point where it becomes necessary to tell other people.
We're already kind of planning to go and find the person that the stick belonged to, so maybe we should go and, catch up with them first and have a conversation before we start getting the law enforcement involved, says a pile of boxes.
At this point, I am tucking it into the belt, making sure it's hidden underneath the cloak, etc., etc. Getting the wings settled back to not being out after flying up here and then trying to whack people with them.
I mean, we've already gotten Lauren. Sorry, you go on.
Sorry, just a second.
Doing this with webcams on is a very different experience, I must say.
Just because I do things with my faces when I'm idling, I just happen to have idle animations.
In my other sessions, we don't play with webcams, so it's very, very different.
Sorry about this.
You're right, take your time.
What I was going to say before is we've already kind of gotten law enforcement involved in that we were attacked and we captured these ruffians who were doing theft. But I don't think we need to get them involved with the staff and that. I think we should just go and try and Valak.
I'd agree with that. And at this point, I'll be going over to check over our attackers.
Sure.
Their weapons will be taken and their pockets will be rifled.
Sure. Are you going to take, or just take away? Their weapons, that is.
Make a neat pile of, but check them for anything I might want to take.
Okay. Their weapons are very common, basic swords. Nothing of particular interest there. Actually, I think I have them written down as scimitars. Yes, scimitars, and one of them has a dagger. Yeah. So nothing hugely exciting there. 3 scimitars and a dagger. As for their possessions, they've got some very rudimentary lockpicks. They don't actually really have any money on them. But they've got, there's off in a corner, you can actually see they've obviously stashed their backpacks. They've got like rations and rope and bedrolls and all that kind of normal traveling vagabond type stuff. So nothing of particular interest.
Fair enough. I will take my hand axe back.
Oh yes, you can collect all of your belongings if they had been thrown. I had forgotten you'd done that actually.
And I don't have to do anything gruesome, I guess, because it actually missed. So.
Yes, true. Very true. Okay. Does anyone want to do anything else immediately before law enforcement gets here?
I think apart from leave before law enforcement get here.
Yeah, no, I reckon we should scram.
Okay. Are you going to attempt to leave before law enforcement get here? I just have to ask based on that response, Lee.
I am.
Okay.
Is there an exit other than the really obvious one with the greasy ladder poking out?
There is. Yes.
Because that goes back into the inn, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It would not make sense for the loft to only have access through a hole in the roof.
Oh, you know, it could be boarded up or something.
True. But there does appear to be on brief and unroll requiring inspection. There is another door, which
No
leads
worries.
to some stairs, which goes down into the inn.
I would like to stealthily creak it open to see if it would be safe to duck down there without anyone noticing.
All right, roll a stealth. $19. Very nice. You are very sneaky. Alright, so you open that back door and you look through and there is a set of stairs. They're a little dusty, all things considered, but not in disrepair or anything like that. And they lead down to another door at the bottom of the stairwell.
I quietly close it again and then ask the rest of the party how do we want to leave?
I mean, I'll be staying here until after we've had a bit of a conversation with the local authorities. As far as I'm seeing it, we've done some good here. Might as well see what that counts for around here. I'll understand if people don't want to be here when they get here, but I'll be waiting. You know, if they decide to take offense at me, there's a hole over there and they can't chase me very well.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
So I was going to say, Hortense isn't very good at staying in one place. So she's going to follow down the trapdoor hole thing.
Right, you're going to head down the stairs?
Yeah. She's bored with this room. She's done.
All right. I'm gonna ask Audacity if you want to stay here, but you don't. Potentially, we could avoid a risk of anything being confiscated if you could trust me to lend it to me briefly, and I'll give it back to you after you finish talking to the authorities, because I should probably chase after Hortense.
Oh, I've stopped halfway down the stairs. She's decided that she wants to stay by you because you protected her before.
Oh.
I pulled out the magical cane and it's like, I mean, I'm not claiming ownership of it right at this moment. I'm just I thought I was the best place to hide it, but if you've got a better place to hide it by not being here, then sounds pretty good to me. Hand it over.
Sounds good. All right.
The coin can split that between us when we get out of here and have some time for ourselves, but it's all good for now, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Giel is going to what's the roof of the thing like of the inn? Is it flat? Is it pointed thatch? Is there?
It's a very stereotypical triangle roof with done in thatch. So
okay.
Thatch is
thick. Oh yeah. No, I've seen thatch in person. Are there any places that are hidden from the street on the roof?
Not really, only because the inn is one of the few two-story buildings in town. Most of them are one-story, so it's higher up than the rest of the town, more or less. Probably the most hidden part would be near the chimney at the very top, along the ridge.
Okay. All right. Because Giel would like to not be involved in the conversation with law enforcement, but also stay nearby in case something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So probably the boxes are still the best bet for that.
Yeah, probably.
Just not patching any spots you can hide inside it. Probably too dense for the moment.
But then I am rather small.
You are.
Alright, can I have a look around to see if there's any places that I can disappear inside the thatch?
Sure. Yeah, go for a an investigation, I suppose.
I really should have put more points into investigation.
No.
9. Nope, probably not.
Ooh.
I'm going to stay in the boxes then.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Shift slightly so I'm in some of the less disturbed boxes that they're unlikely to go through again.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so after a few moments, I'm going to get actually no. So Julian and Hortense are heading down the stairs into the inn. Audacity and Omen are staying up in the attic, and so is Giel, but Giel is hiding in a box or amongst boxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take too long for some like the mayor who you will recognize and some grunts, some very stereotypical fantasy guard looking grunts, to come to the inn. Julian and Hortense, once you've gone down the stairs, what are you planning on doing once you get there? Where are you going?
I was gonna hang out outside for a while, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I get a? Are you trying to not be seen by anyone? People coming in? Are you just sort of loitering?
I'm just loitering for the time being.
Okay. Can I get a stealth? Julian, just to see how well you hide the stuff. Not super well. Unfortunately. Okay, so you've come down and you're loitering around, and then the mayor and these grunts they approach with Martin in tow, and you are spotted quite easily because you stand out. And you're quite obviously holding the staff with the purple thing. And they rush over to you, and the mayor is like, "You found it! You found Lord Balak's stuff! Wonderful!"
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't really say it was just myself. But yeah. Do you want me to show you where we found where Hortense and I found it?
Oh yes, please show us. Were there more things stolen? I believe there have been more reports.
Yeah. There were several like personal effects and stuff like that.
And the criminals, do you know what happened to them?
Well, we've got them tied up currently.
Oh, wonderful! Like they can face justice. Fantastic. Please lead the way.
All right. I kind of I make my way back up the stairs and just kind of slouching, and I give Audacity a look and said, "Here we are."
So,
We tried.
as the party of, authority, etc., enters, Audacity is just kind of standing over the three unconscious morons who decided to attack crazy outsiders with, rapier on her shoulder, just kind of obviously standing guard over them. And as people, it's like, "Oh, Mayor Ashland, good to see you again. Bit sooner than we were expecting. Glad to see that Martin was able to find you nice and quick. We had a bit of an interesting time, as you can see."
The mayor's going to come over and just sort of look at these three and be like, "Oh wow, you've really done a number of them. Oh, were they violent? Are you hurt?"
I mean, they're quite violent, but I'm used to traveling the highways back outside the fog, and things can get a little bit dicey out there. So between us, we were able to take care of them. Down a little bit in medical supplies. It's as much on them as on ourselves. If I, point my sword tip at where I've bandaged them up, like, didn't quite want them expiring before something more interesting happened to them.
Oh, that is quite noble. Thank you. And you've recovered all of the items that they stole. I know that this gentleman here has the staff that was stolen from Lord Valak. You mentioned there were other items that were stolen. Have you seen them?
They were trying to set themselves up a little stash in the other room over there. I've checked through for if anything's trapped or anything. Some of these types will like to lay traps in their stash, but nothing's locked, nothing's trapped. It's all safe for your fine folks to go in and recover. Looks like there's some things that might be precious to people in there. Some free swords for your town guards if they'd like them. Look to be in not brand new shape, but some extra things to stick in the armory is always good.
No, I do agree. Thank you very much. And they're gonna look down at these three guys, and they're just gonna start to kick them to wake them up. Oi, wake up! Boot, boot, boot. And
That's right there, my friend. This one in particular took my sword to the butt cheek, and you don't want to be opening that one back up.
you can just sort of almost see the cogs turning in his head. Is like, what do I? Do I really not want to? Okay, so the mayor is sort of giving these guys a walloping, trying to wake them up. And in the meantime, the guards that are with him, they go and have a look through all of the stash that you've already gone through. Remind me, did you leave the golden statue there, or did you put it in a sack?
I think I will have left it. That is too big to sneak out and too noticeable to fence.
Alright, cool.
Unless anybody else will have attempted to pocket it with ridiculously large trousers.
Nah, sorry.
Lee, I cannot hear you.
Pretty sure that thing is about as big as I am, so that will have been a no from me.
Yep. Okay, cool. So, you can see these guards go through and they're rifling through the other things. They found the statue. They found all those personal belongings. They haven't twigged that you've taken gold from these chests, by the way. But they're looking at them, and there is a cry from one of them going, "Mayor, look what they have taken!" And the mayor looks over and is like, "In an emergency, you have taken things from our temple. How dare you!" Boot! Even harder, and then you just hear this, "Ow! Well, it's your own fault for leaving the doors open!" from one of the guys who's come to.
I'm curious about that statue. It seemed a bit, beyond these guys' means.
It is a statue from the temple that resides in town. Most towns and cities will have a temple, and we decorate them with objects like this.
Oh, I'm well familiar with temples. Ones I go to aren't usually quite filled with gold, but still from a temple. Might not just be justice in this town or in this life that these guys are going to be playing with, I guess.
That's true. But it is disheartening to the people of this town to have something so important taken away from them. Such as
Looks like it wasn't taken for long, at least.
That is a comfort, yes.
Jab the guy with the sword tip mark in his butt. Just jab him in the other butt cheek. Just enough to make a point, lol.
So the mayor is going to nod knowingly, and the guards are going to take the personal items and the golden statue, and then the three guys, and march them back down the stairs to be redistributed and incarcerated as appropriate. And the mayor is going to be standing there. He's still got Martin next to him, and he looks at all of you and says, "Thank you so much. I don't know that we would have actually found all of these things in a sensible amount of time. Goodness knows, with all of the things going on with the eruption. Thank you for dedicating the time to recovering these items for us. It means so much to our town."
I mean, you're quite welcome. It's I mean, being fogwalkers, we are new in town overall, so nice to get things started off on a good foot.
Indeed. If only we could return the staff that was taken from Lord Valak in a similar fashion. Oh, we lost Chase. We lost him. You died.
I just want to take this opportunity to say as well that Hortense just walking into random places has worked out for us. So when it inevitably bites us in the ass later, I'd like you to remember this moment.
When it inevitably bites us in the ass later, I'm sure it will be hilarious and a good storytelling moment.
Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can figure out what happened to James. I know. If I could spell. I cannot. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have a really quick break while we figure out what happened to.
I want to go grab my water bottle, so this actually works out for me.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have a quick break there, even though we've only been going for half an hour or what have you. I'm gonna make a cup of tea. The tea I've been drinking is
That sounds like a good
been
idea.
abandoned since yesterday, so it's ice cold. So new tea. We will reconvene in however long it takes for people to make tea, and
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
tea sounds like a good plan.
You're back!
You live!
Sorry, you did not get that. I'm really sorry, everyone, having connectivity issues and stuff. What did I miss?
The
Nothing.
decision to make tea.
Yeah, we
Oh,
decided
that's
to
pretty
stop
good.
when you disappeared.
Is this one of Hortense's tea?
Sorry?
No, out of character tea.
Out of character tea. There's now actual warm tea in my mug rather than cold tea from
Nice.
yesterday.
That's a beautiful cup.
Isn't it nice? It's handmade. It's my favourite mug.
Is that the Sapporo one?
Yes, it is indeed.
Of course it is.
He makes good stuff.
He does make good stuff, and 90% of our coffee and tea mugs are handmade ones from him. We did a big cull of modern slip-made ceramic tea mugs when we decided that we had enough medieval ceramic mugs to fill our cupboard. I've only kept my favourite geeky ones, so I've got the one with the caffeine molecule and the one with a loading bar that says "Thinking, please wait," and one with a picture of a dancing robot that says "Coffee is required for the continued operation of this work unit."
That's cute.
I like it. It's one of my favourites. So I've kept a little handful of modern, normal mugs, but most of the ones we use are these ones. Although most of them don't have handles. Handles are really useful for hot tea.
I am still so happy with finding that design.
It is the mug that I use for tea.
Let me see. What's your tea mug?
Babylon 5 reference.
I love it. That's great. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I've got tea. Lee's got tea. We've got James back.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I'm just going to be camera off for a while because I want to sit in a way that's deeply unattractive to see on camera.
Undignified manner. Okay, yes.
Yeah. It's not a good look.
That's fine. Okay, cool. So, most of the loot and the thieves have been marched off by the guards, and there was the remark, if only we could return this in the same fashion, referring to the staff, which Julian is holding.
It's a bit of a shame that Lord Falak made such a quick exit after things were stolen.
Well, he is a very wealthy man. He must have felt unsafe. Though, from what I've heard, it's likely to have been a very rash and unwise decision, because I've heard news that he actually headed north, which...
We'd heard the same thing, and not being locals, don't know what's so bad about going north.
Well, yes, if you're unfamiliar with the lay of this land, I suppose you would be. North of Boblin, there is a mountain range, and within that mountain range is the Boella Fortress, which is home to a clan of rather ruthless thieves, and someone with Lord Valak's money really shouldn't be going anywhere near there. So I fear that he almost certainly would have been kidnapped, if it is true that that is the direction he went. I imagine that ransom will be demanded of Valak City fairly promptly, which they will undoubtedly pay, but I cannot imagine it would be even remotely reasonable.
I would like to ask the guards if there's any sort of, if this group of thieves have like an insignia or something that somehow, like people would recognize them for, or something like that.
Okay. The guards aren't there, but you can definitely ask
sorry,
the mayor that. Do they have a logo? No, they do not have a logo. Not to the mayor's knowledge, anyway.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if these same thieves are a part of that group or not.
No, the Puella thieves are... Well, they don't typically do things like raiding towns, and from what you've told me, and just from looking over their gear and what they stole, these guys are... Omen's actually going to cut across him and just go, amateurs? Yes.
Huckle Fox?
They're not the sort of people that the Puella would employ.
I gotta ask, if so Lord Verlac could be known about the Thieves Fortress up there, directly north. that he's heading straight towards. He'd know about this, yeah?
Oh, undoubtedly so.
And he left without guards? With a couple of guards?
He went with his entourage. It's entirely likely that they are also imprisoned in the Puella Fortress, or they've, roughed them up and sent them back to Valak without having open communications with Valak or going there myself. I really couldn't tell you.
I don't trust this guy, this Valak fellow. Like, if you're fleeing from danger because you're afraid that you're going to get robbed, and you run directly into a place where you're absolutely going to get robbed, like, you're either an idiot or that's intentional. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna kind of say that. I think Dame Hortense here is right. This Lord Valak, if he's headed straight towards if he's declared this place too dangerous for robberies, which technically a burglary, I will keep saying that, but that's a bit of a stickler. If he's leaving this place for being too dangerous with the robberies and heads straight towards a thieves' fortress, how much do you have to steal to get your own fortress? That's worrying. Most thieves can get a tent, not a fortress. He is either.
Maybe it's just one really, 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 really big tent.
I want a tent that you can call a fortress. It's like better than that.
Well, I can't do much for a fortress, but I can definitely give you a room at the inn, at the very least, as thank you for what you've done here today. As for Lord Valak's motivations for going north, I can only assume that it was because that is how you get as far away from Harmony Peak as possible.
I mean, I suppose, but I just gotta say, there's two options here. Either he's a complete fucking idiot, either in the height of emotion, or just in general. We can't rule out just the height of emotion fucking idiot. Or he's a bit of a sinister fuck. Now, I don't want to be casting aspersions on the leader of one of your potentially allied cities, but I think he's a bit of a chuckle fuck.
I love this. I love audacity so much. Okay. Okay. The mirror is frowning. Unlike me, I'm incapable of doing so right now. But he is frowning. And he sort of gives a bit of a half-hearted shrug. I've always known Lord Valak to be a very reasonable man, but when the volcano erupted and things were going missing, being stolen, and there was debris falling from the sky, I can only assume that it was panic.
I mean, I think I could see how that might work. If you head straight into a bit of a fortress of thieves, I mean, I know that the initial inclination would be for us to go and follow him. Like, we just seem to be quite the curious bunch, but if I'm actually not thinking that's a good idea. Might be better if we left Lord Valak's property in your own keeping and left his retrieval to the bounty paying generosity of his own town. Let his own coffers sort this.
I feel like that would be safer for all parties involved, both for Lord Valak and for yourselves. I wasn't going to ask you to go up against the Puella thieves, not in a lifetime. They are notorious and are unkind.
And you go and try to break people out of this sort of thing, they might decide that, well, if we're not getting any ransom out of him, we'll just kill him. We don't want that happening now.
No, he's definitely worth more to them alive.
Oh, I can't speak for the rest of my compatriots here, but I mean, when we came through the fog after the volcano went off, we did kind of come through with not as much resources as we might have liked, but see how we're feeling about things after a stay at the inn here and seeing what presents itself for tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. I will speak to the innkeeper straight away and let her know that all of you are welcome to stay at the inn on as our guests, and you will not be charged for staying tonight. And if there's anything we can do for you in the morning, please let us know. I believe we could probably arrange for you a map and a few other supplies without too much hassle in the morning.
That'd be delightful.
Sounds good to me.
Oops,
Well, I
somebody
think-
just spoke from underwater in a bucket.
Well, I will get straight on that, and I'll have her prepare rooms for you straight away. It is the absolute least we can do. But I should leave you to your own devices. I do have to
Keep running your town.
Well, there's that, and get everything back to their proper places, and make sure that these three who have decided to do this to our town in a time of a disaster are processed as is appropriate, but above water.
Are they locals?
These three, they're not local as in they live here, but I believe they are, at the very least, from this part of the world, yes. They don't strike me as from the deserts or from the ice fields.
Right.
What do you what kind of punishment are they likely to get?
Oh, at the very least, they're going to have time in jail, and if they prove to be difficult, then we may have to get something a little bit more drastic happening, but we have a written protocol. We've never had to enact it in my time as mayor, but I will have to find that protocol, yes. Jail is a good start.
Sounds alright, yeah.
And with that, the mayor is going to bow and scurry off down the stairs. And, yeah, I'll make you guys roll a perception, why not?
Perception.
Good at that one. That is a 21. A dirty 21.
6. I got a 1.
18? Not bad, not bad.
Okay, this is actually really funny. I am gonna actually roll one for Omen. Hold on.
Hortense was just not paying attention. The second they mentioned the inn, she was like, nap, 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 nap. And that's all she was thinking about.
Okay, I will.
Have a nana nap.
Oh yeah, she's real tired. She's had a busy day and she's an old lady.
Yep.
Look,
Okay.
fucking mood, and I'm only not even 30 yet.
It doesn't get better as you get past 30. What's your perception, Omen? +2. Nice, a dirty 20. Okay, so this is extra funny because Julian got a 3 and Hortense got a 6. So Hortense, she's got her mind on a comfy bed and warm blankets and maybe a cup of tea. And Julian, I'm not sure where your mind is, but the fact that you haven't noticed this is the funniest out of the entire thing, because as we sort of watch the mayor go and then look back at the party, Omen, Giel, and Audacity are able to see straight away that Julian is still holding that staff. The mayor didn't take it off him.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I don't know this yet, so I can't say anything, but...
Is it like one of those situations where you're like on your phone to someone and you go, oh, hold on, I just need to find my phone?
Yep, basically.
Yep.
Audacity, like, pauses. Like, nope. Excuse me, Mayor Ashlyn, one thing before you go.
And you just sort of hear the footsteps at the bottom of the stairs stop, and then pause, and then turn around and go tip 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 tip, tip back up the stairs. Yes.
Just double checking that you had some good security arrangements planned for Lord Relax's property until it can be returned to him.
Blink, blink. Oh, the staff, of course. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I am a million miles away. Thank you very much. And he'll go over and put grabby hands out to take it off Julian. Which you are welcome to notice that you're still holding this thing now.
Yeah. On that case, I'll be like, oh, yeah. I didn't even realize I was holding it. Oh, no. Well, there you go.
You can tell I normally run Toonkind games. Okay, sure. So he's going to take it and then offer a fountain of thank yous and apologies and thank yous and bow and then trot back off down the stairs and he's gone.
So once they're gone, there's going to be a little sort of a face pops out from behind the boxes for the first time, and then a sort of half of a torso, and while in the process of climbing out, Giel's gonna say, so I don't mean to be the suspicious one of the bunch, but is it worrying to anyone else that the stash that bandits had was in the top of the inn, and now we're being offered free rooms to stay in by the mayor who doesn't seem to have connected those dots yet? Is that worrying anyone else, or is that just me?
Question, is Martin still in the room at this point?
No, he's left the room with the guards and the mayor, so no, he's gone. It's just you guys now.
I mean, I'm going to say that if it was actually connected to the inn, I'm pretty sure they'd have had a better way in than putting a hole in the roof. A little bit obvious. Even we managed to spot that. Although I will note that there's actually some thief sign on the outside of the building. And at this point, I'm going to wander over to that hole in the thatch.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of lean out, because you said that the thief sign that I spotted in session 1, 2, 2. There's thief sign saying "Don't forget" right near this hole.
Yep.
Did the rest of the thieves can't say October 3rd?
Hardy har.
Or
what? I don't get the
It's from Full Metal Alchemist.
That's why I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
So I'm going to pull out one of my daggers, because I'm assuming this is just scratched in with a dagger sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Cross out where they've said "Don't forget," and just write. I'm sure that there is some thief sign symbol for somewhere between amateur, idiot, and chucklefuck. I'm going to scratch that in instead. Just cross out their dramatic, thematic words and replace it with an insult.
Sure. Roll me a sleight of hand for how legible your knife work is.
Upside down, hanging off a roof, yeah.
With a knife. 19.
Perfectly legible.
Up slightly deeper than theirs.
Amazing. Fantastic. I love it. Okay. So, you have been offered rooms at the inn, and when you leave the loft, I assume by the staircase, but you don't have to, next time you are in the main room of the innkeeper does see you and say, "Oh, you've got these rooms, these ones, here are the keys to those rooms, etc." What would you like to do? Would you like to have a long rest, or would you like to take some other option?
What time of day is it?
Mid-afternoon.
Hortense would like to take a nap. She's old for elf standards, and she's done a lot today. and I think she needs to have a nap and a lie down, and like just a lie down, you know.
We'll note that it's still the same day that we came through the fog.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You've had a big day.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened, and she doesn't normally have this much activity, so she's flagging.
Yeah.
That's very fun.
I think,
And when elves are flagging, they get full of wine.
Oh,
yes! Very good! A plus.
you brute.
yeah. So I'm gonna have a lie down, and I'm gonna pull out this little hip flask that I packed with some tea beforehand to like, it's just like to help me like calm down and like sleep. And I'm just gonna have a little drink of that and a little nap.
Well, I'm actually going to suggest that we get food, we get sleep, we deal with the world in the morning.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hortense is already asleep.
Before people go to sleep, I will distribute the money as what we stole. So, well, counter stole, liberated.
Mm-hmm.
So it was what, 20?
There was 20.
So everybody is now 4 gold richer. Hooray! Rolling in it.
Well, I spent like a couple of
Wait.
gold the other day,
20
and I
divided...
can't remember how much.
no,
So I think I'm just back to where I was.
If it makes it easier for the math, Omen will actually refuse, so you can have 5 gold each.
Oh, everybody gets 5.
It's just as easy either way. So it's either 4
4 and
20
5.
divided by 5, which is 4, or 20 divided by 4, which is 5.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
really much of a muchness.
It is much of a muchness, but I had intended it to be 5 gold for all the player characters, not for the NPC.
We can each get like 5 gins.
Yeah, something like that.
All 5 full meals.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to have a complimentary dinner on the innkeeper. She has provided you with food, and then a very nice restful long rest, which everybody gets to get all their hit points back, get all their spell slots. Huzzah!
What are the rooms like?
It's fairly like average. Like it's not like 5-star ritzy ditzy. These are the ritzy rooms in this inn, and by ritzy that means that they are single rooms. Poking around the inn, you're able to see that most of the rooms are like if you've ever been to like a youth hostel or whatever, where you've got like 6 beds and you have to share the room.
Yep.
Most of the rooms in the inn are like that, whereas there is a small handful, of which you have taken all, where they are individual rooms for like 1 or maybe 2 people at most if they were sharing a bed, and the beds are quite nice and large. So for Giel, for example, it's huge because you're tiny. But because we've only been playing for an hour, we're going to carry on. Even though I normally stop on a long rest, but that's fine. Can I get, from everybody, a perception check?
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. And I'll do one for Omen as well.
Oh.
9.
12.
God, imagine having rolls! Giel! Okay, it's Giel. 8.
I mean, this is what I developed this character for.
I have a +5 to perception, and I'm rolling like dog shit.
2 of us got
Dog
nat
shit.
ones. 2 of us got nat ones. So Omen and Julian got nat ones.
Sleep in.
Okay. So Giel, I'm going to
Yes.
imagine that this is because you're a little bit on edge still. You're a bit suspicious of everything still because that's just how you are. In the
Yes,
wee
this
hours
is a
of
fair
the
assumption, yes.
wee hours of the morning, you've woken up. You're doing a fairly typical for you survey of your environment. And outside the bedroom window, you can see ever so slightly a strange yellow glow, which glows for a moment and then disappears.
Fascinating. All right. Giel is going to first take a moment to sort of look around the area. Does anyone else? Are there any noises? Can I hear anybody else having woken up? Is this something that other people have clearly noticed, or?
Well, this is definitely the wee hours of the wee hours. So the sun is up insofar as the sky is starting to get light, but the actual sun itself isn't above the horizon yet. So
Yeah.
listening to the sounds of the town, at best, there's like maybe some sounds from the baker kind of area because they always get up before dawn. But for the most part, the inn is quiet. You can hear somebody in the communal room next to you snoring really loudly. But apart from that, it seems
That's
fairly...
me, sorry.
Okay, so intense. But apart from that, it sounds like very normal country town at 5 a.m. kind of deal.
Okay. Fascinating. All right. I think Giel is gonna leave freaky shit alone until it has some bodyguards. So it's just gonna. It was gonna go for an early morning walk. Now it is not. Now it is considering just not leaving the fucking room. So.
You're not even going to go and have a look out the window? It's just like, oh, freaky glow? No, thank you.
I said I looked out the window.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed that. Alright, so you look
Sorry,
out the
no,
window.
I was looking out the window around the area to see if other people's lights were going on or anyone else was walking outside to investigate. So.
Alright, right, I misunderstood. Okay, sure. So when you're looking out the window, you can't see anything immediately, because you did only get a 12, which is still leagues better than everybody else, but still only 12. So there's nothing going on down the street. That all seems pretty normal, but actually roll me another perception. Just for shits and giggles, see what happens.
Oh, 20.
I'm sorry, did you say 23?
Beautiful. Okay, cool. So yeah, you only caught that glow through the window for a second, but when you're looking out the window and you're looking over the town, it all looks like very normal, just before dawn kind of stuff. But as you look, you have from this room a view of the road that is at the front of the inn, and you can see the well and a few other, quite a good view of this side of town. And as you're looking around, you can see that glow in the well, and it's quite bright, and then it dims and it goes dark, and then the sun starts to peek over the mountain, and it goes, the na 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 kind of.
Yep. All right. Giel is going to. I think with seeing where it is it's kind of gonna. It's no longer like, well, freaky light, leaving that well enough alone. Well enough alone. Let's go. Is gonna open up the window, sort of drop down from the window, and sneak up to the well and see if it can get a better look.
All right, sure. So this well is a very stereotypical fantasy kind of well, rather than an actual proper functioning looking well. So it's a circle of stones. It's about it's taller than you high. But there is a bucket on a rope, and you can look down into the well, and it is a decent depth. So there is water down there. But I'm not going to make you roll again because that was a 23. So you can't see any of that glow, but you can hear splashing, as if something's in the water.
Giel is gonna look up, look around, sigh deeply, mutter, "Better not be a fucking eel," and climb over the side.
Okay.
Um,
You're gonna go for a swim?
and sort of climb down the inside of the well.
Alright. Can I get you to roll a acrobatics, please?
I would fucking love to.
So this is while the rest of the party's asleep, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah,
In different rooms.
Correct.
yeah. Okay.
So
Giel
now-
gets an 8
You
acrobatics.
get a natural 1.
Bum, bum. Well, luckily you can swim.
Yep,
So you
this was part of the calculations, yes.
yeah. So you've sort of flip over onto the insides of this well, and for all it's not very fancy looking on the outside, it is a very well made well. So like the flagstones that build the sides are really nicely aligned. They don't stick out very much. There's not much you can actually get your little webby hands into. So you kind of do slip, especially as the and do this into the webcam. Especially as it starts to get down towards the water level, it gets quite wet and quite hard to keep purchase, and so you slip and you fall. Splish. Luckily, the water is quite
Okay.
deep, so you are unharmed. However, this is a it's not a big well, but it's also not a small well. But you're distinctly not alone in here. There is something bumping up against you, going splish 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 splish. Meh.
All right. Meh is interesting. Eels do not meh. Giel is going to, first off, if it's bumping up against me, can I feel it? Is it furry? Is it scaly? Is it
It's
slimy?
it's kind of scaly-ish. It's somewhere between like it almost feels kind of like tree bark, or we have a lizard that is the exact texture I'm picturing.
Bit of dragon?
Blue
Possibly.
tongue.
It's a really rough, kind of like one side of Velcro kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember. Probably a bearded dragon, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, like really rough, kind of sort of scales, but also feels like sandpaper and tree bark and stuff like that.
It's a knobbly little sucker, is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not a shark because sharks are smooth.
Smooth as hell.
Okay. So, I also have dark vision, so can I actually just see what this is?
Oh yes, I forgot
Wondering.
that almost the entire party has dark vision. I forgot about that. Yeah. So once you've gotten your bearings a little bit, turn righted yourself in the water and what have you, you turn around and you sort of blink your freaky little eyes, and yeah, you can see what
Yes,
this way. The creature in the well with you is probably no bigger than a football, probably about that big. It's sort of a tan brown kind of color, and it does not look like it can swim just based on what it's doing. And I actually have a picture of this, so I will pop it in the pictures chat. But here's the little thing. It looks like that.
Oh no, save it! It's adorable. It's probably not murderous.
It's a Pokemon.
What's
Yeah,
that
Giel-
Pokemon?
As soon as Giel sort of realizes that it can't swim, it's gonna pick up this thing and sort of hold it above the water a little bit as best it can while also swimming, which I assume is relatively well given it's pretty proficient at the whole swimming thing.
Oh yeah, you can tread water pretty easy. And once this little critter has sort of stopped thrashing around, once it's realized that something is keeping it above the water, yeah, it sort of sits there and it's looking at you owlishly. It's like, oh, Oh, oh. it's sort of it's just sort of bobbing there, going, oh.
I am emotionally attached to this thing now.
Aww.
Giel is going to blink back at it. Listen, I kind of threw myself down a well for you, so if you can talk or understand me, now would be a really good time to let me know, because it'd make it a lot easier for us both to get out of here.
You're on a roll tonight. Yeah, this little critter sort of blinks and then nods. No, I can.
Right. So that's a good start. All right. Giel is going to look down. Does the well go anywhere? Is it just like
Straight down.
it goes into the ground straight down?
Mm-hmm.
No. All right. Okay. So all right. Giel is going to blink again at this creature and go, well, I don't suppose you can fly or anything. How are you at climbing?
Oh, not great. I can't swim. I can't fly. I could dig.
Okay. All right. Digging is good. How about I have an idea. If you can sit on my shoulders, I am good at climbing. I just need you to make some handholds for me. Can you do that?
Oh yeah. I can do that. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get us both out of the well, because I don't see that going down is going to get us anywhere better than going up. And Giel is going to sort of let the thing onto its shoulders and grab onto part of the wall and wait and see what happens.
Okay. Cool. Can I get? I will get you to roll a thing. What am I gonna get you to roll?
Oh yeah, that's yep. This is.
I will get you to roll an Arcana.
Oh, Arcana. Let's see. I got a 5.
Okay, cool. So you've got this little thing sitting on your legs. On your shoulders, I mean. And it only has legs. It has no arms. And so you're not quite sure how it's digging. But you can see, as you're sort of perched there on the side of the well, you can see flashes of this gold above your head. And you can feel the pebbles of the broken flagstones from where it's impacting, raining down on you. You can feel that really, really clearly. But as to how it's doing that, you've got no idea. But after a few minutes, you can just hear it go, there. That work?
Giel is going to look up and see. I'm assuming that at this point, Giel is, as long as there are handholds there, then yeah, it's probably going to be good enough for Giel. But
yeah, as I mentioned, this guy does not have arms. So probably couldn't climb even if there was like a ladder there.
So I assume this is some form of acrobatics check to get back up out of the well?
Yes, and I'm going to give you advantage.
I was going to say, can I have advantage? Because... how do I do 2 of D20 plus?
I think it's a semicolon.
Beg pardon?
2D20 K1.
Okay. D20 K1 plus 6 or D20 plus 6 K1?
D20 K1 plus 6 or whatever your mod.
I just rolled twice, to be honest.
Plus 7 for acrobatics. 22.
Oh, cool. Learn a new function with Dice Passer every day. Okay, you get up there, no problem. And luckily this thing, while it feels... It's definitely a weight, but it's not a unbearable weight. I can't say that you've ever picked oat up recently, so that's not a good comparison. But
I've never picked oat up.
Oh no, you've never met them in person, have you? Okay.
No.
Never mind then. But yeah, not a problem at all.
Kind of like the weight of a watermelon.
Yeah.
Like a heavy watermelon.
A heavy watermelon, but also thinking maybe about a bag of rice because it's slightly malleable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you managed to get up out of this well, no problem. And by now, the sun has peeked over the mountains in the horizon, and it's dawn is officially here, and there's starting to be more people filtering around in the town. Yeah,
Alright.
you've got that lovely
Giel is
song
gonna-
and birds and blah blah blah.
Giel is gonna reach down a little bit and wring out the ends of its trousers, and sort of go to touch the little creature, and then go, actually, do you want to get down, or are you good up there for now? I'm going back into the inn because I think my friends will be awake soon.
Oh,
You want to come with?
Oh, can I stay with you? Can I? I can help. I'm helpful.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure they won't mind.
Okay, great. Oh, okay. And I'm not going to make you roll anything for this. There is this weird little shoop, and that little creature turns into a ball of gold-colored energy, and just sort of sinks into you.
Is this a Link? Is this a Zelda reference?
Nope.
Listen.
No, I'm not that cruel. It's not that annoying. So it just sort of shooped into you, and you can kind of still feel that they're there, but you can't see them, and you can't see them feel them tangibly, but they're kind of present, if that makes sense.
You know what? It's not the weirdest thing that's happened to me in the past 2 days.
No, it's really not.
And still absolutely fucking dripping. Giel is gonna walk back through the inn's front door. Splat with its big webbed feet.
I will be, awake and glaring at breakfast at this point, and just kind of look over at the. Is Giel currently glowing?
No.
Cool. Just kind of look over at Giel and did you go out and find something to splash in first thing in the morning? Is that a thing you do?
Just the well, and not usually, but
Feel better for it?
you know what? I kind of do. And Giel is gonna get some breakfast as well and sit down at the table opposite. And
Wonderful. Julian and Hortense morning people?
Yes, I think we've already established that Hortense is, but she's a morning person, but with a cup of coffee in her hand up until
That's fair.
9ish. I don't know.
That's
Julian is plenty happy when he's awake, so he's a morning person in that sense. He's not grumpy or anything, but he is likely to be dead to the world until he finally wakes up.
Fair enough. There is a moment where, probably between Hortense getting up and Julian getting up, Omen gets up, grabs something from the breakfast buffet, and then heads back upstairs. And you don't see from him again until after everybody else is awake. But I am going to say that nothing interesting happens until everybody is awake. And if not having eaten, at least had some coffee and is capable of rational thought. So, wow, that's a bit of a stretch. Capable of conversation, how about that? So I'm going to assume we're all going to meet downstairs in the inn then.
Yeah, so I jump out of bed and I kind of I make my way downstairs kind of energetically, I guess. And is everyone else down there at this point? What is Hortense still up drinking Hortense, are you still up there drinking a coffee, or?
I've wandered downstairs with my coffee. I talk to people and I wander around. This will only make sense to to Shannon, but you know how like Ben will get up in the morning at the campsite and he'll be doing stuff, but he'll only ever get like maybe 5 steps away from his coffee. It's like that.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yes. Okay. So after various amounts of coffee and in other people's cases breakfast, Julian and Hortense are up, and then Omen sort of drifts down the stairs, and that sort of, it's a mystery whether or not he's got legs. He does, and come and join everybody where you are gathering at a table.
So, just a quick, listen, this morning, I think Giel is probably still pretty soggy by this point, like, has made absolutely no effort to dry off anything, so it's just kind of slowly air drying in the ambient air of the inn. Especially now that, the cloak is here. I...
The cloak is here. That's not inaccurate, but good. Sorry, carry on.
I said it in the first session and it broke you, so now it's just officially how Giel is referring to Omen from now on.
Fine by me.
Would anybody object to a sixth party member? I sort of promised I'd ask. Do you want to come out, little guy?
Roll of persuasion.
Oh God, no! Please.
Hortense doesn't need to be persuaded, by the way.
Oh no, but I could see this going in a certain direction.
Average, yeah.
10.
Okay, so there's a pause after you say that, and then sort of everyone, I'm not going to make you roll a perception for this, but as you're just starting to get to the point of going, is it bonkers? I mean, yes, it's hanging out with us, but is it actually bonkers? You see this sort of...
In that case.
this sort of gold glow from sort of inside them, almost sort of in the collarbone, sort of in this sort of area, and it sort of starts like a little small little glow, and then there's just this sort of shing shoop kind of thing, and then sitting on Giel's shoulder is that little critter, that little golden brown critter, and it just sort of sits there and goes, "Hi."
That is adorable. Julian is saying.
I think I got several questions about what's just happened.
They say they're really good at digging, and I don't know exactly how they do it without arms, but they did kind of dig us out of the well, so...
You were in a well? When were you in a well?
About...
Did you not notice the dripping?
I thought you were just
before dawn.
I just thought maybe you got out of the bath and you hadn't... I don't know. I don't know how other people take baths. I don't judge.
There was something in the well, and it didn't sound like it wanted to be there, so I sort of investigated, and it asked if it could stay with me, so...
I mean, fair. And I want to turn to the creature and ask, "Hey, buddy, what's your name?"
"My name's Steel."
Steel?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
The metal or the action?
Both.
I don't know how to spell, but not taking stuff. Metal. Yeah. I'm a majority.
Oh. Yep. I get you. Are you hungry? Have you eaten anything today?
Oh, no.
Okay. I would like to gesture to the breakfast bar.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I get up and get us something to... Why don't we do it that way?
Okay. You're going to take Steel over to the breakfast buffet.
Yes, Giel is going to take Steel over to the breakfast bar and ask them what they want for breakfast.
Okay.
Oh, Hortense is having pancakes, by the way. Like, an amount of pancakes, so as you watch her eat it, you get uncomfortable with how many pancakes she's eating. Like, she's not being gross or anything. It's just a lot of pancakes.
Sounds like me about 10 years ago. Okay, so Giel and Steel head over to the breakfast buffet. That wasn't on purpose, but I like it. But Steel is initially pointing out things that you wouldn't ordinarily think of as food. So, like, there's, like, you know, the ceramic plates and bowls and mugs and stuff. Like, ooh, that. Can I eat that?
I pull out some nails from my adventurer's kit or explorer's kit. I forget which one I've got, but it's the one that's got nails in it amongst other things.
Iron!
And hand that over to it.
I like
Hand that over
iron!
to Giel.
And it just does this little munch.
Giel is going to produce from a pocket somewhere in the bunch of rags that it's still calling clothes a little what are they called? The thing that you press into sealing wax and it makes the
Seal?
A seal? Yeah.
Yeah, a little iron seal and pass it up to. I just have a headcanon that Giel has constantly got worthless little trinkets on its person at all times, so
Yeah, no, that's cool.
yeah, it's just going to pass one of those up as well.
So, like, I want you to sort of picture the way that, like, Pokemon eat in the anime. Like, just the way that the food will wobble and you just go munch, and it's gone. That's how it eats. But it is consumed nails, and it is consumed this iron seal that you've given it, and if you don't stop it, it will probably jump off your shoulders and start eating the crockery.
Yeah, Giel's gonna sort of see the eyes go up and greedily look at the other items around the place. I think we need to. I think they tend to not like you eating those things. They like to reuse them. We'll find you some more iron and ceramics at the market or something.
Oh, yes, please. They're good. Yeah.
Hey, Steel, how hungry do you get? How much do you need to eat, do you think?
Oh, not much. I'll be okay for a few days.
After that, or? Okay. Well, that seems pretty easy.
And they're just sort of sitting there. Nod.
Where do you come from? Like, do you oh, because I've never seen anything like you. Do you remember where you came from? Do you have parents? What's your story?
Oh, I'm an Ajami. He says, as if that answers every question.
What's an Ajami? Sweetheart, what's an Ajami? I don't know what that is. And this is me talking to Steel, by the way, not to Shannon.
I am a elemental spirit.
Which element?
The best one. And he kind of pops out his chest. I have arms, but Steel does not. So just sort of imagine that I've put my hands on my chest, kind of on my hips, and puffed out my chest, kind of motion, except without arms. It's like the best one, Earth. I am an Earth spirit.
Well, that's a new one on me.
Very strange.
If you're going to be traveling with us, I am going to say all the sharp things that I'm carrying about my person, not for eating.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. I'll make sure that there's a steady stream of other things that you can eat. It's all right.
Great. I can help. You're strong warriors. I can definitely help.
Sure.
You've got a bit of a generous nature to you there if you've given us that assessment.
This little thing just seems enthusiastic, so like I don't think it understands sarcasm.
Oh no.
So what are we gonna do now? Or are we just gonna just sit there awkwardly at the buffet?
All right. So does this change anything? Like do we want to talk about what happened yesterday? Like, have we decided what we want to do?
I think the mayor was going to be offering us some supplies for, making our way through the world. I know it all got a bit quick with me doing a bunch of talking yesterday, but I'm thinking this Lord Valak that's gone off to the north, he's either done it on purpose or because he's an idiot. I think we just leave it to it. Sounds a bit callous, I know, but does anybody have any objections to that?
To be honest, on one hand, yes, it does make it easier if we don't follow this guy. But on the other hand, I'm not sure what our alternatives are narrative-wise. So I kind of just want to follow him to see what happens. We can always like follow him and then encounter bandits and go, you know what? No, this is too hard. Let's just go back to the breakfast buffet. You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
And at this point, Omen is going to pipe up and say, "Did we not receive a map of the region yesterday?
I believe we did.
If we do not have any intentions of rescuing Lord Valak in any seriousness, then why would we risk ourselves and waste our time heading towards the Poela Fortress?"
Missed the second half of that sentence.
No. Why would we risk ourselves and our time making our way towards the Poela Fortress?
That's basically what I was thinking.
I mean, alternatively, we did also come through this fog, not to find some random dude's staff, but to check out this volcano. So we could go check out the volcano.
I
That's
mean,
indeed an option.
thinking of the map we got, the next town along is basically straight towards that volcano. Actually, Steel, my little strange friend, you happen to know anything about this volcano that's around here and causing some troubles?
Ooh, yeah, loud. There's lava. Lava, and it's so me and fire Tommy. We like that sort of thing. Lava is fire and earth. It's good.
So you could take a swim in there, hey, and you'd be fine.
Sorta. Yeah, for a bit.
I'd be curious if lava goes under the auspices of earth or fire. Seems to be or is it just kind of a team effort?
Yeah. By the volcano. Yeah. I know the volcano.
I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but I have a few qualms about the whole fire thing. Not my favorite.
I mean, I don't suggest that we go for a swim.
Yeah, but it gets real dry around that sort of thing.
Not a bad point.
But I mean, we could get a little closer and we can see how it goes. Maybe we'll find something along the way.
At this point, do we assume that like the map is out on the table, that whoever's got it has pulled it out?
I think, if I recall correctly, Julian had it.
I've definitely pulled it out. Yeah, I'm enthusiastically. I at this point, I'd guess I'd make a marker on it and be like on the thieves' hideout and also the volcano and.
Yeah, that is marked on our map. Both of those.
Mm-hmm.
The two purple things.
2 of the 3. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is a ominous other thing. I'm just looking at this, and it looks like between here and that volcano, there's a decent amount of rivers, so shouldn't be drying off too fast.
The other side of the volcano is where Valak comes from, probably. I can see there's a little Valak marking there. Maybe if we headed that way, we'll come across people that can get word back to his family or whatever, and
Sounded like a good plan. So I'm thinking if we look at this Kipley place, maybe it's the next place that we're heading to.
I think that is a better use of our time than trying to head towards the fortress. If it is as formidable as the mayor and the people here seem to think, it may be a waste of our time and be beyond our capacity.
Works for me.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So then our next
What do you
port of
think?
call,
Sorry.
if I understand correctly, is to obtain resources and head towards Kipley. Is that right?
I think that's as good a plan as we've got at this point as any. And we've got some resources from before we headed into the fog, but the mayor's been offering to equip us a little, and I'll not be saying no to that. I've got some stuff for the road, but not enough for five and an earth spirit. Did your magic tent end up coming in with us?
I did give you a magic tent, didn't I?
I meant omens.
Oh,
You gave us
omens.
the magic boat.
I gave you the
Omens
boat.
headed-
That's right. So you look directly at an omen and say, "Can we sleep in your tent?"
Did your tent come through?
Omen's just gonna sort of turn his whole self towards Audacity. All of my possessions are still upon my person. Yes.
Well, that's at least 2 tents that we got with us. So, a couple more from the mayor, and we should be okay for us spending some time on the road, not paying in fees in places we haven't done some dashing heroics.
Hmm.
Well, if that
All right.
is the plan.
I'm gonna get up and say, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, and walk out and proceed to walk out the door.
Okay.
I think you're rubbing off on this one.
Oh dear. Okay, so you're gonna pack up and start to head out of the door, and Steele is going to sort of shoot back inside Giel where he was hiding.
yeah.
I wonder, can your little arse buddy still hear us when they're doing that rather nifty trick? It's a bit
I
weird.
don't know what.
It's a bit weird that the earth elemental is sticking inside the one that we got that's closest to a water elemental.
I mean, I did kind of throw myself down a well.
I'm thinking that might be a little bit in character for you from, a day's acquaintance. I mean, it's not surprising that it's not latched on to me, because I don't think it'll enjoy being in the air next time I decide I need some better visibility.
Yeah, we'll see how much it likes me once we get to the river.
Oh dear. Okay, so I think I might go ahead and call it for tonight there. And we will pick up again in a fortnight for our journey to Kipley. How fun!
Cool.
Wonderful.
I hope you guys had a good time. That was a bit of a quieter session, but given how hectic my day was, I think that was fine. I think that
Probably not a bad thing.
probably not a bad thing. So yeah, I will stop the recording there, and we'll pick back up in a fortnight.
Sounds good.
Yay!